Technology comes with great challenges, and especially in developing countries. The move to the digital platform is now proving to be a challenge, not just in Kenya, but also across the region.
Most countries in the region are still grappling with the enormous challenges presented by the migration from analog to digital TV broadcasting. The key hurdles, of course, will include the relatively high cost of the set-top boxes and the slow deployment of the digital TV infrastructure. Initially, we looked at December to be our time frame for switch off. Although the rollout targets, I think I must say we've tried to meet them, but the availability of set-top boxes have been a challenge. And it is unlikely that we can be able to switch off in December. And even given the fact that the challenges are quite a number, and even the developed countries faced the similar challenges, and we are also moving towards the elections, we wouldn't expect to make a mistake where we switch off people who would want to hear from what their leaders are going to tell them. My own view is that we would think of starting to switch off after the general election.
As the government acknowledges this, efforts to have every Kenyan accessing digital television signal are still on course as it looks to subsidize the cost of set-top boxes.
We know those are some of the teething problems that we shall encounter when we will be switching off, because at some point there are those who will not be capable of affording a set-top box. And at that particular point in time, we would expect the government to make an intervention, because we will not have to deny somebody an opportunity to get the information that they want.
The challenge of set-top box providers cashing in on their signal is also another hurdle the government has to look into so as to counter providers charging for free-to-air channels.
When we give out a license, we give a license with license conditions. And if we have given you a subscription license, like for example, what we have told the digital signal providers is that at least 30% of their capacity must be spared for free-to-air. Now, if you are providing free-to-air services and then you black out the rest of Kenyans, you have committed an offense. We can withdraw a license from you.
Regionally, the challenge of having radiation spillover across countries is also prevalent, with no mechanism in place to curb these.
This can have a good effect in some instances. However, in many instances, this can be a source of potential interference, which, if not resolved, could easily generate into conflicts between neighboring countries. It is therefore prudent and appropriate to put technical and legal mechanisms in place that provide for scientific and agreed manner in which such radiation may be controlled.
According to Pogisio, it is expected that radiation arising from radio communication will also grow. He noted that it is prudent to establish a harmonized calculation method for the maximum use of radio spectrum for enhanced benefits of not only nations but a continent as a whole. Nancy Njoki, GBS News.